Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about some MLB first half grades. I wanted to do this video before the All-Star game ends tonight, so I can get this video done before I recap the All-Star game. And probably do some more news videos, do some NBA and NASCAR news, get all that. Let's get these first half MLB grades here. First thing I want to talk about here is the Oakland Athletics. I mean, I didn't expect them to be good, because nobody expected the Oakland Athletics to be good, because they traded all their star players, really, with Matt Olson, Frankie Montas, and a bunch of other players. Nobody expected them to be good, but to be this bad. They're probably last in every category in baseball. And with the record on only 25 wins, yeah, they gotta be an F. I mean, I can't see how you give the Oakland A's any higher than an F. I mean, I just don't see it. Next team, the Kansas City Royals. They will also get an F grade, and here's why. Unlike the Oakland Athletics, they're trying to win. The Oakland Athletics are trying to lose. They're not trying to win. The Kansas City Royals are trying to win. I mean, they've been bringing up some prospects like Bobby Witt Jr. And they've been trying to get better. They even had Chapman for a little bit while he was doing good this year before they traded him. But it's just so disappointing with that team. I mean, I didn't expect them to be like an A or B team, but I expect them to be at least like a C, like a middle-of-the-road team. I didn't expect them to be only one win ahead of the Oakland Athletics. That makes it even more disappointing. Only one win ahead of the Oakland Athletics. Gotta give them an F here. Next team, also an F. The Colorado Rockies. Yeah, man. Rockies have been disappointing. 34 and 57, oof, that's really bad right there. I didn't expect them to be good competing in the NL West with like the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, Giants, the Padres, but I expected a lot better than 34 and 57. It's just, they need to really get some pitching. Their starters just not good. They just need bullpen as well. Like, the offense has been okay. Like, you have some promising players there with, like, Elias Diaz. I think Nolan Jones can be a good player, but their pitching staff's awful. They really need to revamp that pitching staff. But bad. The Chicago White Sox. This is one of the most disappointing teams in the league, with a few teams like the Mets, Padres, and Cardinals. But this team, I didn't expect them to be good, but I expect them to be good enough to be up there and compete in that trash division. Chicago White Sox proved me wrong. A team with Dylan Cease, Tim Anderson, Lucas Giolito, Luis Robert Jr., Eloy Jimenez. That's a good team right there. On paper, it looks like a good team. It's just they're not performing good right now. And Tim Anderson's been one of the most disappointing players in the league. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, he has no homers and only 13 RBIs. He's been awful this year. I feel like their pitching's been good. Like, Dylan Cease, I think's been good. Lucas Giolito's been pretty good. Their pitching's not been bad. It's just the offense at times outside of Luis Robert. It's been pretty disappointing. I expected a lot better from the Chicago White Sox. Especially Tim Anderson. He's been probably the most disappointing player this year. Next, the Washington Nationals. And this is a team I'll give a C+. And I think they're going to get more wins this year than they did last year. And at the break right now, they are 36 and 54. I know this doesn't scream like a C+ grade, but with the young talent they've got, with like Lane Thomas, like Dylan Cruz they just drafted, James Wood or something. They've got some good young talent coming up. Josiah Gray, Keibert Ruiz they have. They have some really good young talent. This is a team you look on paper and say, oh, this is a team we should beat easy. But they play you tough. The Nationals will play you tough. So I'll give them a C+. Next team, St. Louis Cardinals, F. They've been probably the most disappointing team this year outside the Mets and Padres. I did not think the St. Louis Cardinals would regress this much. Their pitching, their starting rotation has been awful. Like, their starting rotation has been miserable. Right now at the break, they're 38-52. Their starting rotation's been bad. I don't know why they didn't get some pitching in the offseason. Because Adam Rainwatt's been bad. It's like a 7 ERA. Flaherty's been bad. Steven Matz is trash. They overpaid for him. And their offense has been okay. It's been decent. It's just their pitching's been bad. They need to get better pitching in the offseason. And they need a new manager as well, in my opinion. This manager they have currently just ain't it. But the next team on my list here is the Detroit Tigers. I'll give them a D. I'll give them a D rating. They've been up and down this year. They started the season off really bad. But they're playing with more heart and effort. They're coming off that combined no-hitter. The Blue Jays in that series, I know they lost 2 out of 3, but I'll give them, they're 39-50. They started playing better baseball recently. Their pitching, I think, has been good. Matt Manning threw that no-hitter. Treat Scoble's coming back. Has come back from injury, I think. He's been pretty solid piece for that pitching staff. Their offense has been pretty decent. So I'll give them a D rating. Pittsburgh Pirates. I originally put B-, but I'll put a C-. I just don't think it makes sense to put them at B. They started the season off really hot. People are like, oh my god, could they be a top 10 team? I'm like, let's calm down. It's early in the season. And they eventually started to cool off, started to lose games. Alright, 41-49 right now. Just lost 3 out of 4 to the Los Angeles Dodgers. My Los Angeles Dodgers. But I'll give a C- to the Pirates. And I'll put a C- because they started off really hot this season and kind of cooled off the middle of the season. So I think it's fair to give them a C- here. New York Mets, F here for the New York Mets. They've been really disappointing. Besides those first few games in July where they were 6-0, then they lost to the Padres 2 out of 3. Their pitching's been pretty disappointing, in my opinion, with Max Scherzer with a 4 ERA or something. Verlander, it's been pretty bad, 4.5 ERA. Their pitching's been pretty disappointing with Verlander and Scherzer. Lindor, until recently, Lindor's been hitting better. Alvarez has been playing better. He's got some promising play offensively right now since the start of July, but the pitching for that team, and just with the record right now, for the New York Mets, is why it's disappointing. I expected better right now. Just their record right now. The New York Mets has been disappointing. I mean, what else can you say here about the New York Mets? They just lost 2 out of 3 to San Diego after a promising sweep against the Diamondbacks. They were 6-0 in July. They're now 42-48. It's gonna be disappointing just because of their record and I had high expectations. They can maybe compete there in that NL East, but it's just simple. They can't. They might miss the playoffs, to be honest. I don't know. Next thing, the Padres, F. With all that talent, you got Soto, Bogarts, some big additions over the past few years. The team's just so disappointing right now. Their pitching's been well as of late. Musgrove, Snell, but the offense has to be more consistent. The Chicago Cubs, I'll give a C. They're 42-47 right now. They got some promising pitching right now with Stroman and Justin Steele have been really good pitching wise. Bellinger, Stroman and Bellinger, I could see getting traded maybe, because I think they'll opt out their deal because it's 1 year for Bellinger free agency. We'll see. Minnesota Twins, I'll give a C. They've been up and down this year. I mean, they'll probably surpass their win total from last season. We'll see. Los Angeles Angels, I'm going to give a D. If you asked me the start of the season, I'd probably give a solid A- or a B+. Yeah, right now, D. This team's just been falling apart recently. Their pitching outside of Ohtani's not good. and their offense has been really inconsistent lately. This team's gonna fall off. Next team, the Guardians, I'll give a C. Like, their offense is really inconsistent. Like, their pitching, I think, is really good outside of Cal Quantrill. Outside of that, I think their pitching's good. It's just their offense needs to be more consistent. Mariners, I'll give a C minus. I would give like a D, but they've been playing a lot better recently before the break. Their offense is just really inconsistent right now. They need to get more consistent, but outside of that, I think they've been good. And their pitching's been phenomenal with Gilbert and Castillo and George Kirby. The Red Sox, I'll give a B+. I know they're last in the division, but they're 5 games above 500, probably the hardest division to win it right now in baseball. So I'll give the Red Sox a B+, the Brewers a B+, as well. Second place in that division behind the Cincinnati Reds, who are playing really good recently. New York Yankees, give a C+. Like, I know I don't know what place they are in that division. They're probably 3rd. No, they're 4th. But that offense is just so inconsistent. Like, Garrett Cole's been one of their bright spots this year pitching, but the offense is just inconsistent. It's either home run or bust. The Blue Jays, I'll give a B. My Los Angeles Dodgers, I'll give an A grade. This is not just bias. They're now, technically now in first place, despite all the injuries pitching. Just all the injuries. And somehow they're in first right now in the division. I think we're gonna go on a hot streak here soon. The Phillies a B-, and the Astros, I'll give those 2 B-. Cincinnati Reds with an A. That offense is just so good. De La Cruz, Steer, McClain, Jake Fraley, Friedel. They have so many good players on offense. The Giants, I'll give a B. They're about as I expected, about a few games above 500. The Diamondbacks, I'll give an A. I didn't expect the Diamondbacks to be that good this year. But with all that young talent, they have a lot of young talent in their minor league system. They're going to be good in the future. The Marlins with an A. I'll give the Rangers an A, the Orioles an A, the Rays an A-, because they've been losing a lot of games recently, so maybe that luck's starting to fall apart. But still an A- up to now, and the Braves an A+. With like 60 wins at the break. That offense is just so good. They have so much depth. With the Marlins, Luis Arias, they may not score the most runs, but they win a lot of clutch games, especially those one-run games. They win a lot. The Rangers, I knew they would be good, but I definitely didn't expect first place good. The Orioles, I think they're second place right now, only a few games behind the Rays, so they're starting to catch up. Better watch out for those Baltimore Orioles. The Phillies and Astros aren't doing as I expected right now, but I think time will change. So yeah, that's all I'll say for this MLB first half grades video. So All-Star Game recap tonight. Peace.